Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome in, race fans, here to the Stafford Motor Speedway here tonight. The Stafford Springs, Connecticut little half-mile racetrack, maybe well known for SK Modifieds, and that's exactly what we're going to see here tonight. Drivers like Ryan Preece and Ted Christopher made and cut their teeth right here at this historic half-mile short track. Tonight, though, for the Six Rings Racing 100, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, it is the Red Light Racing Series here tonight. It's the Short Track Scrambler Series that will race for 100 laps around this, well, call it slightly banked. When I say slightly banked, well, it's not very banked down there in these corners. It's, well, pretty much one of those. To me, it's a flat asphalt track here tonight, which will play host to our second race of the season. Dalton Williamson was able to pick up race number 1's win with A.J. Hamill and Michael Trevarthen in tow in second and third. So those are your top 3 in the points championship standings coming into this evening. Tonight, though, it is a open house. It's a wide open book for these drivers who will be able to take home the win here tonight. Let's head down trackside here tonight for our starting lineup, brought to us by Six Rings Racing. Starting lineup looks like this. Starting on the front row, out of Florida, driving the Rev Esports number 2. It's the Big Wiggle. It's Michael Trevarthen. His outside rookie candidate this season, driving the 989. This is Scott Duncan, making his second career start. Back into the third spot, hailing out of New York. Nope, it's Vermont. Nope, it's A.J. Hamill. It's the confusion. A.J. Hamill starting in third. Back into the fourth spot, it's the 2-time champion of the SK Modifieds. It's the car number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Back into the fifth starting spot here tonight, driving the number 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Driving car number 11, that is Sean Single. It's the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes, number 13 of Joshua Buckley. He'll roll off from the sixth starting spot here tonight, while starting back in seventh, the Higgins Hill Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply Busch Lattes number 40. That's Rob Higgins. It is Dan the Man Butler, the number 21 here tonight. That will be the 21 of Butler, starting back into the 8th position. 9th then on the starting grid here tonight, driving car number 5, hailing out of Massachusetts. It's the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 5. That's Brian Bianchi. And starting back into the 10th spot here tonight, hailing, well, out of the Midwest, it's the number 73 of Philly Edwards. The driver from down in South Carolina, it's going to be the 271, the fan favorite of Aiden Elvecchione. And back into the number 12 spot here tonight, hailing out of Virginia, driving the RPM Motorsports, Rob Jenkins. Well, it's not Rob Jenkins, it's the number 99. That is Mark Jenkins, starting back into the 12th starting spot here tonight. 13th will go to the man, the Jiffy Lube number 31. That's going to be Dave Bragg, hailing out of Ontario, Canada. Back into the 14th spot, driving car number 9, Trey Mitz. And the driver out of Texas, driving the Raven Graphics number 7. That's going to be Doyle Lowrance. He'll start back there in 15th. Brandon Wynn will grab the number 14, a 16th starting spot. How about 00, Darrell Quater. Back into the 17th, A.J. Watkins and Bob Higgins. That's your starting lineup here, brought to us by Six Rings Racing. We're ready to go 100 laps here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. We are green to turn number 1 here tonight, 19 SK Modifieds. Great start. One driver down onto the infield grass and turn number 1. That will be the number 40 of Rob Higgins. Higgins going to lose some ground, but lap number 1 will go to the driver of car number 2. It'll be Michael Trevarthen. Now Sean Single back here battling inside to the top 5. Right now that'll be the Hello Kitty number 11 of Shanika Single. He'll pick up a spot from Dalton Williamson. So Williamson will drop back into the 5th spot here on lap number 2 this evening. A lot of these drivers already single filing themselves out here tonight, trying to get into a groove here in the Six Rings Racing 100. Trying to just work themselves closer to that 100 lap marker here tonight because, well, they told me one time you got to be there at the end to have a chance. And that is exactly what the number 21 of Dan Butler would like to do. He's the driver out of Southbridge, Massachusetts, just a little bit down the road. He'll look to the inside. He'll take the spot from Joshua Buckley. That'll put Buckley now onto the hot seat with the number, well, Aiden Avecchio made quick work of it. Now it's going to be the number 31. That's Dave Bragg in the all-white number 31 Jiffy Lube-sponsored entry. Dave Bragg will make that spot work for him on the bottom side. Joshua Buckley not in a favorable spot right now. There you see the checkered flag auto supply double hooked. Number 13 getting passed up. The outside lane has just not come in here tonight. There goes Jenkins. There goes Rob Higgins. Higgins, remember, took that slide down to the infield grass here in the early going. But he is now trying to work back through the field as he'll pick up a 1. Sideways for the number 14 of Brandon Wynn. That NOS energy drink number 14 was all sorts of out of shape, out of turn. Number 4, he was wiggle, wobble back and forth. Was able to hang on to it. Now he's got to tiptoe himself. Those tires are a little bit warm here now in the early stages of this one. Down onto the bottom, that is car number 9, Trey Mitz down there, the driver out of Atlanta, Georgia. It's his rookie campaign along with that number 14 of Brandon Wynn. And then there's A.J. Watkins back there in the 01, that red and black machine. A.J. Watkins, another rookie. So 3 rookies right now out of the 4 in competition here tonight. They're running back here to the 14th, 15th, and 16th position, respectively, right now, currently on our timing and scoring. Darrell Clauter looking like he's dropping back here behind the number 30 of Bob Higgins. So Higgins will pick up a spot. The Florida native there, 00 of Darrell Clauter, making his return back into the series here on Thursday evening. Good to see Darrell back out in competition. 863 Gaming TV on the side of that 00 this season. Back up at the front of this one, Scott Duncan trailing Michael Trevarthen, and that number 989 was a little bit sideways. And right now, he is currently sitting there in between Trevarthen and A.J. Hamill. Hamill back there in the Arts Barbershop number 18 NYVT. He is currently ahead of Shanika Single. So currently here, we're going to be working lap number 10 currently here out of the 100 that is scheduled here tonight at the Stafford Speedway. Michael Trevarthen, Scott Duncan, A.J. Hamill, your top 3. Currently 19 drivers took to the call of the grid here tonight. Still have 19 drivers all out there, and everybody has, well, looking good tonight here at Stafford. One car spinning to the inside there. One car, it flashed in front of our cameras. That was the number 11, Shanika Single. Was down to the infield grass. Shanika Single in the Hello Kitty number 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts, calling this his home race of the season. All sorts of out of shape, and now he will drop from running into the 4th position all the way outside the top 15 and back to the 19th running position. So Sean Single having some problems here. That'll put Dalton Williamson into the 4th spot. Brian Bianchi now sitting in 5th. A couple of cars strung out here at the front of the field. I believe we have what happened here to Sean Single. Let's take a look back. Sean Single just sideways, and all Dalton Williamson just giving a slight little tap to the Hello Kitty car. That little tap to the Hello Kitty car will send Sean Single down there, and he will come back out onto the raceway. But, man, Single is, well, a little bit behind the 8 ball now as the battle for the lead. The pressure really starting to build up here. Duncan has run down your race leader of Michael Trevarthen, but can't quite get around him. Keep a close eye on this battle here as Dalton Williamson right now running one of the quickest laps last time by, and actually he set the quickest lap time of the evening last lap. So the BK Paints driver out of Tampa, Florida right now, hounding the back of that Arts Barber Shop AJ Hamel machine. You see Duncan kind of out of line just a little bit, trying. He's going to get to the back bumper. He's going to turn the number 2. The 2 car down to the inside there. Spinning to a stop on the infield is Michael Trevarthen. You saw the 2 leaders get together. And now Michael Trevarthen, who was your race leader here for the first 17 laps of competition, all the way back into the 15th spot. So as he'll try to put on the rebound sneakers here tonight, I don't think he made any contact here. They say, let's watch it back. There you see the bump. And there he goes to the infield, not going to hit anything. So 2 cars spinning to the infield early on in this one, and he will not hit anything for that number 2 machine. So he'll come back out onto the raceway, and we're staying. Well, now we have a caution flag. Caution flag out. Actually, as we were watching that replay, the driver of the 73 has had some technical difficulties, to say. 73 of Philly Edwards. Take the look. Watch the 73s ahead of Wind right here. Wind down on the bottom. Oh, he's going to drift up just slightly and rub the Nerf bar. That 73. And Philly Edwards takes the lazy spin down to the infield. Right on board here with the 73 of Philly Edwards. Got that right front into the left side rub rail. Around goes Philly Edwards. So that puts us under caution for the first time here tonight. In our 6 Rings Racing 100 here tonight at the Stafford Springs Speedway. At this time, drivers will have the option if they wanted to come to pit road under the first caution flag of the evening, but it looks like a lot of these drivers are opting to stay out. They do have one fresh set of Hoosier Racing tires down there tonight, courtesy of the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply located in Ayer, Massachusetts at 103 Park Street in Ayer, Massachusetts. They have everything from brakes, struts, shocks. Well, they can even get you some rims. You need window cleaner because Dalton Williamson is a big purchaser at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply of window cleaner. I think he just got 2 cases shipped down to actual Tampa, Florida, courtesy of our friends over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. So if you need any parts to keep your car on the road, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply either has them in stock or they can order them for you today. Check them out on the web at thecheckeredflagautosupply.com. But the lights on the iRacing.com safety car are out, so that does mean we will go back to racing. It'll be 23 laps officially completed here tonight. iRacing.com pace car in. These SK Modifieds will come back to life with 23 laps in the book. Good start for AJ Hamel, who took over the race lead. A little contact there. Dalton Williamson down onto the rub rail of that 18, and up the track is going to wash Dalton. That's going to put now AJ Hamel and Brian Bianchi running 1 and 2. There you see the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 5 machine. 1 lap back to green flag competition. First side-by-side battle is back here, the number 99. Mark Jenkins has been oh so close last season. How many times in the Tour Modifieds? Just hasn't been able to get it done. He makes the pass on that number 21 of Dan Butler. Dalton Williamson was taking a peek down to the inside of the 5MA of Brian Bianchi, but was not able to do anything with it. There is Brandon Wind. He has moved up 9 spots here tonight, so that NOS Energy Drink number 14 is definitely on the hunt here to try to go to the front. There you see him. He's right now running into the 7th position, right ahead of the fan favorite of Aiden Alvecchione. Aiden, the youngest driver on the tour still. He has not, he has not surpassed anybody in age. Definitely not the driver behind him. That is Joshua Buckley in car number 13 currently. Buckley has dropped 3 spots here tonight after starting into the 6th position. There is the number 2. That's the BK Paints number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He is now back inside the top 10 after being spun from the race lead here tonight, going all the way back to the 17th spot on the scoring sheet. Now back up into the top 10. A.J. Watkins, one of those rookies we talked about early on here tonight. He is starting to move his way back up, picking up 5 spots here tonight. Now running 13th. The unsponsored driver of the 01, making his second ever start here with the Tour. Watkins finished 18th last week in the season opener. Jenkins under fire once again. There's that 21 of Dan Butler. Battle back there. I believe that is the number 2. It is Michael Trevarthen going to the inside of the checkered flag. Auto supply number 13 of Joshua Buckley, and he will look to make the pass, and look who's coming with him. Shanika Single back inside the top 10 now, as Buckley is going to lose 2 spots in 1 lap. Another battle back here. Trey Mitz and that 01 of A.J. Watkins. Here comes Duncan. Duncan relegated to going to the back of the field. Picked up an end of the longest line penalty for turning, I believe, the number 2 car. Self-inflicted penalty because that did not bring out a caution flag, but he has gone to the back of the field also. That's what gave A.J. Hamill and Dalton Williamson the top spots here on this restart. These drivers all still battling up inside the top 10 here. There you see Butler and Wind and Alvecchione just flashing by the camera. The 99 of Jenkins, Trevarthen is sitting there. Everybody has pretty much gone single file here. Dan Butler, though, going to leave the hole open on the bottom. Here comes Brandon Wind. Wind making the pass on the bottom side. Now Butler trying to get down in front of the 271 of Aiden Alvecchione, and he will do that. Right on board here with our checkered flag auto supply onboard camera with Aiden Alvecchione. Aiden a huge spin as he's sideways. Sideways for Aiden Alvecchione, and he will get it gathered back in, but the caution flag will not fly. So Aiden, who was running in the 7th position, now going to drop all the way to 16th. How many times have we seen that here tonight as a driver just getting sideways and then loses a ton of spots, but is not saved by the caution flag? Aiden, who was having himself a really good run here tonight, now has to get back up on the horse and see what he can do. Butler making the look to the inside here on Wind. Of course, there you see the old famous number 21 of Dan Butler, trying to make the pass on number 14 of Wind. Years ago, meeting Dan Butler here on the iRacing.com platform, he always ran an orange number 21. It was always a battle between him running an orange 21 and myself racing a orange 39 machine. A lot of drivers always getting us mixed up, and we see which one of us have the talent, as he's still out there and I'm up here. So, Butler showing his talent and flexing his muscle here tonight as he went around Brandon Wind there. Butler now taking the 5th spot. Wind will go back to 6th. He is still the only driver that has picked up multiple... Oh, contact back there. The 99 of Jenkins was sideways. Now Joshua Buckley through the grass on the infield. Everybody going to gather it back up, but that was the 11 of Shanika Single into the door of the 99 of Mark Jenkins, and that sent everybody in a scattered frenzy. Check out what just happened here. Jenkins was sideways, and Sean nowhere to go. Going to get right into the Nerf bar. No caution being flown. Joshua Buckley trying to avoid the number 9 of Trey Mitz that hit the hooks there. Buckley, luckily, no inside wall here tonight at Stafford, and was able to go all the way down to the infield and stay A-OK. Now he's got pressure, though. Look who's on the back deck lid of this car. Well, there you see it. That's Aiden Alvecchione back there. 271. Aiden trying to work to the inside. Good power move there by Aiden to hook the tires up off turn number 2. Not quite able to get there to the inside on Joshua Buckley. Aiden going to use that inside little bit of a, call it the flatness down there, that transition from the flat apron to the little bit of banking that's here. Look at Aiden. He's really trying to get that car to turn. That time just got a little bit of a wiggle out of turn number 2. Philly Edwards is right there, too, in this battle with Darrell Clauter. Trey Mitz, Doyle Lowrance back there. Battle just out ahead of these drivers, though, with the 0-1. That's A.J. Watkins. Watkins trying to hold off Scott Duncan, and then he's got Jenkins out ahead of him. Michael Trevarthen making a couple passes. He will now put himself back inside the top 5, so Michael Trevarthen on the hunt to the front again. He had the fastest car in qualifying as he took the pole here tonight. A.J. Hamill, though, still out front. Brian Bianchi, Dalton Williamson, 1, 2, and 3. And, well, the driver that's been pretty silent here tonight. We talked about him a little bit here, the Jiffy Lube driver. There's Dave Bragg. He's just having himself a really solid night, up 9 spots, running into the 4th spot currently here. Nothing to say other than just calm, cool, collective for Dave Bragg, and he's kind of in no man's land right now. Got about a 1-second gap to the guy in front of him, about a 1.5 seconds to Michael Trevarthen behind him, so just trying to get things done. Battle at the front here. Here comes Dalton Williamson. He'll take a peek to the inside of the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe, number 5 MA. Massachusetts and Florida battling for second right now, chasing the driver that can't pick if he's out of New York or Vermont. The Confusion Project, that is for sure up front. Duncan taking the spot from Jenkins also. So a couple drivers shifting around here, making some moves, and A.J. Watkins going to go up the speedway. Aiden Avecchione's going to dive underneath. There goes Philly Edwards underneath. Just got loose down there in turns 1 and 2, and up the track goes the 0-1 of A.J. Watkins. He'll lose a couple spots, but looks like he found a home for the time being there. You notice the front bumper bar of the 0-1 is beat up just a little bit. A couple nicks and a little bit of a bend in that one. They're going to have to straighten that one out sometime this week back at the shop. Joshua Buckley's car looks like it had the handling start to go away. You see him sideways that time off turn number 4. He's got the driver out of Spring, Texas. There, the number 7 of Doyle Lowrance is right there. Of course, Doyle doing a lot of our graphics work for us here, and we appreciate Doyle and all the work he puts in. Does some excellent paints over there at the Raven Graphics Stables. And he likes to dabble behind the wheel a little bit, so we like to see him out there, poke fun at him a couple times before the race, but he's a good sport. It wouldn't be Thursday night without Doyle out there. At the front, these two were at the front last week. They finished in opposite, though, of where they're running right now. Was A.J. Hamill finishing second, and Dalton Williamson picking up another win to add to his career wins list. Halfway home in this one, A.J. Hamill was the race leader at the halfway point home. Driver to pit road, or no? Driver that just slid down there. That was going to be the number 21 of Dan Butler. What happened to Dan Butler? He was battling with Brandon Wind at the time. As the truck says, this is what it was. 21 just sideways. Tried to get back to the throttle. He'll lose 2 spots in the exchange there. Just broke it loose and had enough to get it back down onto the apron and good to go. Nothing changing. The train at the front here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100. A.J. Hamill, but he's getting pressure. He's starting to maybe make some mistakes. Right on board with the Center for Whale Research onboard camera here. Two-time SK champion, the one-time Tour Modified champion behind him, Dalton Williamson. Dalton sure knows how to wheel these SK Modifieds as he is, well, a 2-time champion. Cars all around the speedway here. This just exchanged hands. The 7 of Doyle Lowrance picking up that spot from Joshua Buckley. These drivers all have to get a move on it. That is Bob Higgins right there that just came into the picture. Take a look out the back. You see that blue. There's the black and the white and red car. Those are your top 3 leaders. They are just a straightaway behind right now. A straightaway behind is the race leaders. Dave Bragg getting pressure here, and it looks like he's not going to put up much of a fight. There's Michael Trevarthen now moving back into the 4 spot. What Trevarthen would really like to see right now would possibly be a caution flag if we could. That would really start to bunch this field back up, and then we could start to see what these top 4 drivers have tonight. Down the back straightaway they come here on lap number 59. There'll be 41 laps left here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. You can tell how fast these race leaders are going here tonight because, remember, we just said 2 laps ago that Bob Higgins had about a straightaway lead. Well, now it is down to a half a straightaway lead for the checkered flag on display number 30 of Bob Higgins. So he'd also like to see a caution flag. A lot of marbles up to the outside. Let's see if these drivers stay out of the marbles up there. Joshua Buckley zigzagging down the front straightaway. Everybody stretching out around this track. Your top 2, 3 are the closest drivers on the speedway currently here. Dalton really with his hands full, as A.J. Hamel really into that defensive line. Right on board, this is with the race leader. Oh, this time he slips. Maybe that number 1 can get a run. No, he won't. He won't have it. A.J. Hamel will retain the race lead into turn number 3. He'll come by this time, knock another one into the books for A.J. Hamel. Thought for a moment, the Project Confusion Arts Barbershop, number 18, was going to leave the door open, but he didn't. Battle here, Dave Bragg now trending into the wrong direction. Here comes Brandon Wind on a wind down onto the inside. He's working the steering wheel of that NOS Energy drink, number 14. This is back here for currently what is the 5th position, and now here comes Shanika Single, the Hello Kitty entry. John Single actually got me tickets to the SRX race here at Stafford this past season. It was kind of a hush thing. We didn't let a lot of the drivers know, but we knew that Josh Buckley and Rob Higgins and Bob Higgins were all going to be there. And, well, Sean got the tickets, and my wife, my little man, and I all drove up to Stafford unannounced. We showed up and got there about a half hour before the couple of the other drivers got there, and, well, we were able to surprise them. Just a good time up there at Stafford. It was a good little short track. Wouldn't mind going back there, and I'd highly recommend it if anybody's up into the Northeast and has some spare time to go ahead and check out the Stafford Springs Speedway. SK Modifieds were on tap along with those SRX machines, both putting on excellent shows. But as you see it, Brandon Wind, Sean Single, and Dave Bragg, they have all swapped spots a little bit. So as they swap spots, your race leader have started to put some drivers a lap down. Bob Higgins, Joshua Buckley, and A.J. Watkins have all gone a lap down. That means just out front of the race leaders, that is the 7. Doyle Low, Rance, Trey Mitz, and Darrell Clauder are all the next drivers onto the chopping block here. Mark Jenkins going to slide up the track down here in corner number 1 and 2. As he slid up the speedway, Aiden Alvecchione was able to slip on by. So Aiden back on the march to the front here. You know, Aiden has actually started to do a little broadcasting himself here on the iRacing.com platform. And, well, he does Monday nights, and he likes to keep it hush-hush. But a couple of us do go find his streams and watch him back through the week. And I think by Aiden Alvecchione stepping up into the virtual broadcasting booth for himself, I think it has really opened up his eyes here on iRacing. This driver over the last 3 seasons is probably hands down the most improved driver here in the short track series for Red Light Racing. Of course, you saw him earlier all the way up into, I believe, what was his 5th or 6th position. Then he took a spin to the infield and had to drop all the way to the end of the field, and now is just 1 spot out of claiming another top 10. Last year, he was one of the only drivers that actually had a top 10 streak going. Towards the end of the season, he was at, I believe it was 5 straight top 10s that no other driver that had on the tour. Right now he's trying. He has to go back up and find Scott Duncan. Where is Scott Duncan? Well, he is, sitting in the 10th spot, 5 seconds up currently on that 271 of Aiden Alvecchione. Out front, though, A.J. Hamel still holding off. The number 1 of Dalton Williamson has got Brian Bianchi still in tow. Michael Trevarthen, he has been trying to get there, but he is still 3.5 seconds back. As now there's a battle right there in that group of cars. There's Sean Singled at the inside of the number 14. Wind, who's been very fast in the middle stages of this race, now starting to fade. He lost a spot about 10 laps ago to Michael Trevarthen. Now he's losing a spot here to Sean Single. That'll put Dave Bragg now in car number 31, taking a peek to the inside, the Jiffy Lube entry. Out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Representing the Jiffy Lube of Ontario colors. Well, normally is. I think tonight we may have an issue with his paint, but normally he's flying Jiffy Lube on the side of that number 31. Of course, he represents Autism Speaks also, and represents them here on his iRacing.com virtual machine. So Wynn is looking like he's going to have to give up that spot. He gives up the spot. So that'll put Dave Bragg into 6th. "24 laps to go, and that is what your race lead looks like here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100 from Stafford. These Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modifieds here tonight, the SK Modifieds that is, putting on a good show for all the race fans out there tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you race fans that are tuning in from all over the globe here to watch us tonight here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. These drivers, of course, running their short track Scrambler series this season here on Thursday nights. Last week, we had the Legends car at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas. Tonight, we have the SK Modified here tonight at the Stafford Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. A little bumper action there from the second place machine of Dalton Williamson to the back of A.J. Hamill, letting him know, hey, Teddy Christopher was here. This is where he raced. The 3-tap Teddy rule is definitely in effect. Oh, Brian Bianchi going to overshoot turn number 1. Some drivers having some problems. It looks like the caution flag going to come out. Ooh, right there in front of the race leaders. Philly Edwards turn around. Oh, the 99 of Mark Jenkins is turtled in turn 3. Sir, you can't park there. You just can't park there. That's not the smart park. Let's take a look what happened. Philly Edwards battling with Aiden Alvecchione. Oh, looks like Philly stepped on it. Joshua Buckley down there doing some dirt track. Oh, my goodness. The 99 of Jenkins right in front of the race leaders. Jenkins with absolutely nowhere to go. Didn't even know it was coming. Right on board with Mark Jenkins here, the driver out of Virginia. Thought he was going to be good, and all of a sudden, and we lost the camera. We lost the camera. What will we do without that camera on the number 99? There's the 99 behind Philly Edwards. And then he's right there. Darrell Clotter gets a little piece, but they look at the leaders. They split the spinning number 73 there of Edwards. Crazy. And this caution comes at a crazy time because a lot of these drivers now elected to come to pit road. So this is going to start to shake things up. Some of these drivers putting on 2 tires, some of these drivers taking fuel, and some of these drivers possibly able to sneak in 4 Hoosier Racing tires here tonight. As there you see the field working off of turn number 4. Let's see if we get the 1 to go marker here tonight, or if we're going to go around for another lap of caution. Looks like we will go around for another lap of caution. But hey, but while we have some time, we got to thank, like I was saying, the race fans that are tuning in out there, watching us tonight here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the Six Rings Racing 100 here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing here at the Stafford Speedway. Race number 2 of the season. We got to thank Six Rings Racing for stepping up on board here tonight, helping out our series, bringing you to the big screen here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name, of course, Roger Muth, bringing you all the racing action here tonight from Stafford. as now we do see the official iRacing.com pace car lights going out. So it'll be A.J. Hamill to the inside. He has two fresh Hoosier Racing tires on the right-hand side of that, SK modified. Then it'll be Dalton Williamson to the outside. He's also got two fresh tires. So two teammates to the inside, and look at that. Who's to the outside? That is Michael Trevarthen. He's also got two fresh tires. I think Sean Single is the first driver that may have put on 4 here tonight, so we'll go back racing. Green flag back in the air here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100 at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Great start there by the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He put it all on send mode, and he might be able to clear the 18 of A.J. Hamill. No, Hamill battles back. Hamill going to drive it down into the corner a little wide, and who's going to lead the lap and give it to A.J. Hamill. A.J.'s going to lead that lap, and Dalton Williamson actually going to snake himself back in line. So put A.J. back out front here. Then it's going to be Dalton 3 wide, almost 4 wide back there. That was almost 4 wide racing. It was Dan Butler, Doyle Lowrance, and Dave Bragg along with 13 of Joshua Buckley. Problems. The 2 machine up against the outside wall in turn number 4. Well, it's almost close to where I sat when I was up at the Speedway. So, the caution flies once again. You know what they say about the old short track racing, cautions will breed cautions, and well, it did here tonight. Well, let's see if we can take the look back here. What happened to Michael Trevarthen? Watch the number 2 machine here down the back straightaway, and does he get some help? Oh, the 5 of Bianchi into the back of the 1 of Williamson, and unfortunately, Michael Trevarthen was just the odd man out. It looked like Bianchi had rolled the bottom just a little bit better there than Williamson, and then tough break for the other Rev Esports driver there, Michael Trevarthen. Yankee put the tires out of the white there, and maybe coming up just a little bit, but he was definitely rolling the bottom side of that speedway a little bit better. Look at them all stack up, and the bee's nest just come out there. Looks like it won't be a repeat win for the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson, of course, bringing his machine to pit road. There you see the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Looks like he has gone a lap down here. So while we're under caution flag, Dalton Williamson looks like his night will end at Stafford. Not the way he wanted it to look tonight. So that'll put us under 10 laps to go here once we do get the timing and scoring all figured out. My notes are saying it'll be A.J. Hamill, Brian Bianchi, and Sean Single. Then it'll be Rob Higgins, Aiden Avecchione, Brandon Wynn, Dave Bragg, Dan Butler, Doyle Lowrance, and Michael Trevarthen back into the 10th position. A handful of drivers want to lap down under that other caution flag. Well, that's because they may have added too much fuel or took some tires and they were too far behind the pace car here. So we'll see if they can come back in. So the lights on that official pace car from iRacing.com do go out. So it'll be officially 8 laps here tonight. A.J. Hamill, Brian Bianchi. Sean Single, Rob Higgins. What a night it could be for Single if he comes back here after spinning. We'll go green once again at Stafford. 8 laps left in the Six Rings Racing 100 here tonight. A.J. Hamill cleared the number 5 there of Brian Bianchi. Bianchi now battling with Sean Single. There you see the Hello Kitty entry down to the inside of the number 5 MA, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe entry. Oh, Bianchi very close to the outside wall that time. He was close, didn't touch it. Caution lights coming on. Caution lights on. The 31, the 21, something going awry down here. Butler and Bragg having some issues, the 31 and the 21. Take a look here, the 31's involved, and he was ahead of the number 21. Oh, Brandon Wynn going way low into turn number 1, and Dan Butler, the Storm Magnet, definitely a magnet in this one. Right on board here, Dan Butler's point of view of this. Watch that 14. We'll go to the inside down the straightaway, and Bragg just trying to hold the line into 1, and Butler just trying to get into turn number 1. What did I just say about cautions breeding cautions? Well, there's another caution here tonight. A couple drivers that are out of this event, though. Dalton Williamson, Philly Edwards, and Mark Jenkins will not cross the finish line here tonight. All 3 of them are actually out of this one. Unfortunate for them. We should go back racing. I don't believe we're going to head to a green-white checker, or I should say overtime just yet. I believe we will have a 1 attempt before going to overtime here tonight. And how about Sean Single? The Hello Kitty entry, the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, now residing in Boston, Mass. Now, I believe it's down by the Harvard. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, race fans. I went to Boston once, and you swear I live there. But Sean, right now, sitting in second. And I do believe he's got fresh tires, or maybe they had a little damage that they were repairing, because he was down in his pit stall. I didn't quite see if it was 4 tires or if it was 2 tires and some damage fixings. But we're about to find out, because it'll be A.J. Hamill, Sean Single, Brian Bianchi, and how about it in 4th? Aiden Alvecchione. And note, this will take us into... Yeah, this will take us into an overtime attempt number 1, I just saw. It still will be AJ, Sean, Brian, and Aiden, your top 4. Then it'll be Rob Higgins, Brandon Wynn, Doyle Lowrance back up into the 7th spot. Michael Trevarthen, Scott Duncan, and Joshua Buckley rounding out the top 10. Lights are officially out. Green-white checker attempt number 1 coming this time. There you see the Hello Kitty entry. Yards Barbershop 18, your 2 front rows looking back at the rest of the field. Zeno's Luxury Jackets, 505 Motorsports driver, Brian Bianchi back there. Here we come, back into the restart zone. Got to wait for Barney the flagman to throw the green flag, and then we're going to be away. Here we go. 2 laps to go here. 2 laps to go. A little contact there from Sean Single and A.J. Hamill. Single trying to pinch that 18 down there. Not going to work. AJ is going to boot scoot boogie out in the way. Here comes the number 5 of Brian Bianchi. Aiden Alvecchione spinning the caution. Lights are on, and a big wreck. Big wreck on the front straightaway. There you saw the 11 of Sean Single. Aiden Alvecchione had gone around. Rob Higgins involved, and cars were flying just about every which way and direction. Brian Bianchi will wind up on the tow truck here tonight. About 150 yards away from taking the white flag, and the caution flag number 5 will fly here tonight. There you see Higgins trying to get back to pit road. Sean Single coming down to pit road with him. Aiden will stay out. Aiden was in a good spot. They will have to watch it back. A lot of carnage down here. Watch Aiden on the outside here. I don't think he gets any help. I think the car just goes around on him. Oh, man, he got that right front tire. So Aiden just spins to the outside. So his car is A-OK. And then the carnage up here. There you see the 7 of Doyle Lowrance going away smoking. His motor expiring. Let's watch it. Single trying to hold that car down there, and then they just lock together. Higgins nowhere to go. Brandon Wind is involved. That's the 5MA. Brian Bianchi sliding across the front straightaway. There's the 7 of Doyle Lowrance smoking as he pulls away, the driver out of Texas. Right on board with A.J. Watkins as he tries to make it through. He got a car over top of him. That was Sean Single. And he's just going to go through the grass after that spinning car of Single over top of him. Wow. Let's see if we can watch that back here. Still riding on board with A.J. Watkins here. That was impressive. Michael Trevarthen also, his onboard camera probably catching something good. This is on board with Michael Trevarthen. Seeing over the top. The big wiggle had to wiggle through that one. Well, now it's a game of who doesn't have damage, and the only driver I think that didn't get any piece of that truly may be A.J. Hamill. He was out ahead of the carnage. Overtime attempt number 2 coming. The lineup this time going to look very jumbled up compared to what you just saw. It'll be A.J. Hamill. That's the only car still in the same position here. So it'll be Hamill out front. Wind, Trevarthen, Duncan, Buckley, Clauder, and then Aiden Alvecchio. Those are the only drivers left on the lead lap here tonight. So 7 drivers still have a chance tonight to pick up the big win. Green-white checker attempt number 2 here coming. AJ has to be ready. Late green flag that time by Barney the flagman. Here we go, attempt number 2. AJ with a good start there. Michael Trevarthen has actually come and run him back down. Let's see what happens this time out of turn number 4. Wind going to stay to the outside there. Trevarthen trying to get to the back of the 18. White flag is out tonight here. Presented by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100. It's the final trip around the Speedway. A.J. Hamill still leading the way. Michael Trevarthen bearing down on the back bars of that number 18. Final time through 3 and 4. A.J. Hamill will look to park it in victory lane. One car spinning, but it'll be A.J. Hamill. Brandon Wynn, Michael Trevarthen, Joshua Buckley, Scott Duncan, Aiden Alvecchio, and Darrell Clauder coming across the line here. So A.J. Hamill going to pick up a win here. The first of the season for the Arts Barber Shop number 18. Mr. Confusion is probably confused, doesn't even know what state Stafford is in, but he will win here virtually tonight at Stafford. Unofficial results on the left-hand side of your screen here tonight. All 19 drivers starting. That's their finishing spots as AJ going to go down there. I think he's been a little rusty. Been a while since he's been in victory lane, but he'll do the donuts here tonight. Our post-race show coming up next here, presented by Holy Shirts and Pants. All 3 top competitors here tonight going to pick up a Holy shirt and a Holy pants. So as AJ go backwards here tonight, doing a Polish victory lap, we'll take a quick break here from Stafford, and we'll be back with the Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Stafford here, race fans, for the Six Rings Racing 100 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. They needed a little bit of overtime to scramble up this lineup here to figure out who was going to cross it first, but after a handful of laps, it looks like 107 laps needed here tonight at Stafford. We officially have your top three ready for your Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show. Remember, race fans, if your shirt ain't holy, if your pants ain't holy, they're not holy shirts and pants. So let's go see what the top three have to say after this one here tonight. We'll kick things off with the driver who doesn't even know what state Stafford is in, race fans. He's down here. How about it, AJ Hamill? AJ picking up a win here tonight, but you definitely had to work for this one, and I know you're confused, but you are the winner.
I am confused. There was a huge monkey on my back as far as Stafford and the modifieds, and feels great to get that guy out of here. Send him to the Connecticut Zoo.
Well, so you do know where we're at.
I don't know if there's a zoo, but I know where we're at.
Well, since you know where we're at, how about this race here tonight? The car, it looked pretty good, but your mirror was full. That whole middle portion of that race right up to the end, that number one of Dalton Williamson was starting to play the three-tap Teddy rule on the back.
Was he? All right. I thought he might be, but I couldn't really feel it. Yeah, he clearly was quicker, but I had the track position. I got gifted to me when Mike and Scott got tangled up early on in the race, and I got to thank Dalton for not moving me too hard out of the way. He probably would have got a little more aggressive if we got closer to the end, but I just threw it all out the window at one point after he got by Brian, and just try to hold him back as best I can and throw little fakes and hope he plays nice.
Well, he played nice, and then those late race restarts came here. Were you nervous there on the overtime restarts?
I wasn't until they started. Usually inside's good, but I was, I guess, a little too conservative. Dalton really hung it out on his attempt, and then great job by Brandon on that final restart, which I did not want to see. I saw the white flag, and what the hell is this about? Sorry, I got a message in my VR. Yeah. Great job by Brandon hanging it out there, and must have been a hell of a finish between the three of us.
Well, it was a good finish for you here. Unofficially looks like possibly here, since you finished last week in second. Unofficially, I think you might walk away with the points lead here after Stafford. How do you feel about that, especially heading into South Boston with, well, I think one of your favorite cars?
It sure is. I just want to, my goal for the season is a 16-race season. We get a bye week, or a drop week, so Dalton can forget this one and get back in it. Mike's got there with a couple podiums, so it's going to be tight all year. I hope I hang with those guys, and it's great. Everything's working out so far. Just want to be there at the end in the conversation.
Well, you were definitely here in the conversation tonight. Before we let you go, AJ, though, now's the time, because the red carpet's going to roll out for the first time this season. The microphone is yours. Who do you got to thank for another great run here on Thursday night?
SK, nice to be back in the SK with the Arts Barbershop paint on the side. Hi to Dad watching at home, and Mom's watching too, Uncle Charlie this weekend. Project Confusion. Who was on the car? Orcas, all the Orca stuff. Someday I'll remember them, but if it's an Orca, I support it. And they don't support me, I support them. Six Rings Racing for sponsoring. Checkered Flag Auto Supply. I always forget those guys up in Ayers. Almost got to visit them a couple weeks ago, but the wife wouldn't let me detour. But thank them for putting the title sponsor on. and Josh for putting up with us and sitting here listening to me ramble. And I got to tack one more thing onto you. You're right, I do love the late model. I don't like South Boston, but it's going to be fun to get back in the old girl and see what happens.
Well, there you hear it tonight. The driver he's not so confused. He did realize where he is actually at. That'll be A.J. Hamill here tonight, picking up the big win here in the Six Rings Racing 100. So congratulations to A.J. picking up his first win of the season here on Thursday night. Driver, though, that will finish back into what is the second position. He had a wild ride here tonight. How about it, Brandon? Your first podium here and a wild one as you also picks up the most positions gained here tonight at Stafford.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, we're doing great here. Brandon, walk us through your night here as you really had to start towards the back of the field. It looks like a 16th starting spot here for the 14 car.
Well, I don't normally qualify. I always like starting at the back, moving my way up. That's how I've always done it. And then just those wrecks, cautions really helped me. Got a little bit tangled up in some laps, but held on to it and kept going.
You held on to it. You kept going. You found yourself coming to the front here, and at the end of this one, some chaos really starting to break loose. How did you find yourself through all the carnage on the front straightaway?
I've just always been good at just avoiding wrecks. Somehow, it's said I had wheel damage, really didn't, kept going, finished second.
I love the invisible wheel damage effect that we get here sometimes, but hey, a great run for yourself here. Are you looking forward to your third race of the season coming at a very tight track at the South Boston Speedway?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've always been good there with late models. I haven't won there. Every time I race there, I always wreck out.
Well, let's not talk about the wreck out. We don't want to see that next week. We'd like to see that, one of the toughest tracks. Everybody have a good race down there. But before we let you go, Brandon, congratulations on your first podium ever here with Red Light Racing and the Short Track Scrambler series on Thursday night. But before we let you go, we know there's got to be some people back home that are either watching or that help you out to make this car as fast as it is.
I got my dad watching behind me, and that's really the only person that's watching me. I practice a lot. I did a lot of practice laps here. Practice didn't really do so good, but
he made it here tonight. Brandon Wynn, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever picking up a podium here on Thursday night. Certainly had one of the fastest cars, just had to work through traffic all night long. That 14 looking pretty strong here in his rookie campaign. He'll finish P number 2. Sitting back into the third spot here tonight, though, how about it, Big Wiggle? This car very fast, and, well, at one point it was the wrong direction in the grass and not on track.
Yeah, a bit of a rough night for the 2-car. Went to the back, I believe, twice. Had to come back through the field. So, yeah, bit of a barn burner of a night. I was trying to, when I took off for the beginning there, I was trying to save a little bit. Obviously, the guys behind me weren't going to allow for that. So, got a little loose there coming out of 2. Scott got in the back of me a little bit. You know, he was coming off the corner, you know, under throttle. I can't really fault him for that. Like I said, I had gotten loose and, you know, he got a better drive off. So, sorry, Scott got involved in that and then ended up taking a EOL for it, which was, you know, the gentleman thing to do. Hats off to AJ, hell of a race there. I know Dalton had a bit of a rough night, got caught up in a tangle, and hats off to Brandon there for a nice finish.
Well, walk us through, how hard is it here? This is one of the most historic tracks on the iRacing.com service here at Stafford, and it's a short track. It's not banked per se that the outside is always there. How are you able to work your way back to the front?
It's definitely difficult to pass here, man. We had a hot rod all night, even in practice and qualifying, last night's practice. So, you know, I knew that the car was quick enough to get up there. A lot of the guys kept overdriving turns and sliding up into that second lane. And, I mean, as soon as you pounce the nose up under there, you know, you get pretty much good corner position for the next corner. I mean, it's game over. So we were able to pick off a lot of positions coming from the back twice tonight. So, like I said, hats off for the great finish there, man. I didn't expect a top 3 out of after going to the back.
Well, how about some tough tracks coming up? South Boston, Langley, and then the big track down near you at Five Flags.
I'm definitely a fan of the late model, super lates. You know, the bigger the motor, looser the car tends to, you know, suit my driving style. So I like them. I know Dalton's really good at it too. So, like I said, we'll put the work in and should be quick there.
Well, you like those big high horsepower cars, but at Langley we got the old clunky 4-speed street stock coming out. It has fenders on it. It's weird looking.
I may end up be my drop race on that one, Roger, to be honest with you.
Well, we do see that car again October the 20th at the Big Wiggle 100 at the LA Coliseum.
That's right.
So we're going to see that, and especially the championship night at the Nashville Fairgrounds, we do also get the old street stock back out. So we're going to see that one. You better start to like it.
That's right.
Well, Mike, before we let you go here, third place finish, sorry. Who do you got to thank?
I definitely want to thank Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Always forget Six Rings Racing. Thanks, AJ, for the heads up on that one. Checkered Flag Auto Supply, they do a lot for both of our series. Can't say enough about Rob and Bob for everything they do for our league. Josh, Eric Stout, the Rob Higgins, the admins for Red Light for Thursday nights. They do a hell of a job policing and putting a good group of guys together. So, like I said, I love racing with this group of guys here. BK Paints, sponsor on the side of the car, McConey Setup Shop, Platinum RV, Rev Esports, and you in the booth, Roger. You guys do a hell of a job.
There you hear it. The man who had a rocket ship here tonight, unfortunately having to go to the back of the field and work his way back up. And late in this race, he was in contention for a win here tonight. Michael Trevarthen, race fans, finishing third on the podium. How about it, though? A rookie this season, picking up 14 spots. The most positions gained to match the door number of car number 14, Brandon Wind, will finish second. AJ Hamill holds on here in a rough one to win tonight here at Stafford for his first win of the season. A couple drivers notably coming back through the field. Josh Buckley was a lap down at one point with 25 laps to go. He will actually take car number 13 and finish into the 4th spot. 5th here tonight at the end of this one, it will be Scott Duncan. And then sitting back there into position number 6 was Aiden Alvecchione. Darrell Clotter in 7th. Trey Mitz was 8th. Bob Higgins was 9th. And A.J. Watkins will walk away with the top 10. Dan Butler, Doyle Lowrance, Sean Single, Rob Higgins, Brian Bianchi, Dave Bragg, Dalton Williamson back in 17th. 18th then will go to Philly Edwards. And 19th to Mark Jenkins. Those are all, of course, your unofficial results here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We're back next week, though, on September the 8th, while we head to South Boston Speedway. We will pull out the old, well, I believe they call them the Monte Carlo SS. It's it's like a limited late model for some of the race fans that are tuning in out there. We'll see that out the South Boston Speedway for 100 laps. The first time we take that car at that track ever here on Thursday night. So we're looking forward to seeing that one of our favorite ones, before we head down to Langley and we get the street stock out before getting the super late model out at one of its most prestigious tracks at the Five Flags Speedway. Those are the next 3 races coming up here on Thursday night for our short track Scrambler series presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. But for everybody at Red Light Racing, all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network and the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, we thank you tonight for tuning in here to watch this series, as it was a barn burner all the way down to the end. But, well, we'll get to do it again next week. So until we see you next week, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.